scaling on the bot side of the map. They've got a super tanky tank in that Sion who will scale infinitely as well here. That utility in the jungle and that Talia. You mentioned that map roaming potential, Trajan. I'm going to double down on it because not only is it just generally good and Lava knows how to roam, but when you've got a damage overload composition, when you're looking to get early leads here, the thing you're most worried about is outside influences, ganks coming from the jungle, or in this case, from the mid lane. Are you sneaking into the bush? Here it doesn't know.
Oh my goodness, he lacks critical information, everybody, and we can see the Lilia rotating up. They're gonna try and catch him out here. Let's see how much damage they can do to the Sion at level 1. This would be the investment you need. Here come the pincers closing in. They find the knockup. FNB is trying to stick up those scissors, but there's no follow-up from Goot. It is just gonna be a bit of damage. Overall, not the worst, not the biggest impact we could say, even before the minions spawn, so he's not even gonna be that late to lane.
Yeah. I was wondering if they're going to try and actually invade off of that, because I feel like if you don't invade, you kind of didn't get anything. And IU starting Relic Shield as well. Not even going to get gold stacks for hitting her. Yeah. So, much ado about nothing here, Trajan.
All right, yep, here it's dealt with that one pretty well. So FNB going to have to do it all on his own, not going to get the advantage from level 1, as we see how these early lanes come down. Now, for Ranger on the Sejuani, we've said Ranger, he is a very strong kind of early ganking setup jungler. He does get stuck in. He doesn't play the carries, right? He plays the engagers and the CC kind of option here for Sejuani. Why is it that Sejuani is not working for this region so far? I don't know if that's a big question or not, but why do you think Sejuani is proving such a tricky thing to actually get the W on so far?
As we kind of alluded to in draft, I think a lot of it's just the specific matchup Sejuani often has to run into. There are sort of two tank utility junglers that we're seeing very heavily favored across the world, and they are Maokai, Sejuani. So a lot of times we see one team get Maokai, the other team defaults to Sejuani if they need that tank. And that's just not a good matchup for the Sejuani, unfortunately, not to mention Maokai just does more, does better, which is why I was very happy, or not say happy, I was hopeful to see this Sejuani picked up after the Maokai got banned, because I think it can have great impact. Natuno and Zai with that strong push. Early level 2 here, just going to get a bit of poke down onto Trigo and Ayu. I was going to say I'd love to see a ward dropped. Zai, reading my mind there, because you're pushed out. Yeah. You know Ranger's not nearby. You're gankable.
Yeah, for sure. It has been great to see how easily Zai has slotted into this first place team right now. Coming through off the academy scene, you know, we weren't super pumped up about it. You know, Furia Academy, as far as Moy didn't light the world on fire last time. We had some questions about how he was going to perform. There's a potential argument that Enchanter meta is a little bit more favorable. You can do a little bit more with less, perhaps, depending on how the meta is favored. You don't have to be the playmaker that makes the exact right decisions to win you the game. And he's still on that Enchanter bus. He's still on the Lulu, right? But he has performed admirably well in that role, we have to admit. So let's see what IU can do. As you said, his replacement on Furia Academy, now onto the main stage with Trigo in tow on this 2v2 duo with the Zyra Khan. Let's see if they can make an impact.
So far, they've just kind of been shoved in by the Enchanter here, by the Zeri as well. And I'm a little bit worried because Xayah, yes, she is a scaling teamfight champion, but you're up against Zeri, who is one of the best here. So,
yeah.
You know, I'm still looking for IU to try and pull something in this bot lane, and I think they're waiting for Goot to actually finally swing back around to this bot side here. So far, the junglers have been kind of a kitty corner from each other, pathing the opposite directions here. So Goot now on that top side, and really nothing to find here. Maybe looking for something onto Lava in the mid lane, but Lava hovering towards Ranger, and topside FNB is so pushed, so overextended right now. Goot cannot hope to look for a gank to the top lane.
Yeah, into the Scion under turret, not likely to happen as Envy, in fact, strikes in the mid lane, pushes Lava down below 200 there. They're both out of mana, but Envy is using this Jace pick to the fullest so far, as we flagged up. The best hope for me for Furia to get an even matchup, possibly even to get an advantage in the lane, is Envy right now. And especially when Lava is on this clearing pick, this roaming pick, it's not necessarily designed to win the 1v1 versus Jace. There's definitely an angle for Furia to get some sort of lever they can push on coming out of the lane.
Yeah, I think Lava was just looking to farm, wave clear back and reset on that wave there. Didn't really have mana, completely out of mana once again in the mid lane here. Will be forced to recall. And one thing we didn't touch on, summon or unsealed spellbook here, Trajan, for Lava. Extra summoner spells. We are seeing Ghost Flash for now. I think they were maybe trying to wait for that unsealed spellbook to let them rotate into teleport, get back into mid. That won't be happening, but if Lava's willing to burn Ghost, he can still get back mid really, really quick here. isn't going to do it. So we'll lose out probably half of that mid wave there.
Yeah, gonna have to potentially try and get some value off it on the roam, as he is almost level 6 and will potentially use that Weaver's Wall to counter these pushes. We can see FMB still very far up in this top side, is, you know, enjoying the lane matchup as we'd expect, with a small CS lead building up, but has to be wary of the rotations from Lava if he doesn't want to find himself punished in that early laning phase. And then bot lane, as we've touched on as well, Natuno and Zai still ahead, but IU and Trigo can have a good engage combination in the river right now. The dragon is still up. You know, we haven't rotated to it just yet. I'm wondering if anyone is going to move to it early. Like, is anyone incentivized to group up and try and fight early, or is it just going to be waiting to see what the other person does?
So with the Ocean Drake here, Trishan, I think it's one of the best laning Drake. So ideally, I'd like to see lanes go to early. But I think for these teams right now, their lane states are not ideal. It's pretty balanced mid, both just reset here. Until we start seeing a lead in a lane, it's very risky for teams to try and make this play. Furia with this push into bot, they're going to sneak here, but you can see why I'm saying it's risky. Ranger is rolling around right behind them here with this blast cone, going to spot them, and they're going to contest.
Yeah, no ults on deck for either junglers right now. No ults on deck for anyone apart from the mid laners right here. Lava rotating alongside Envy. Dragon going down low, below 1500. Who's going to commit to that fight? Ranger muscling his way into the pit. Bumps forward. It's going to be a smite fight. Let's see who finds it. Lilia Goot will secure the objective as Ranger has to flash out on a sliver, but Trigo finds himself locked in the pit. Natunu finds it and Envy flashes over. Maybe doesn't even expect to find Ranger waiting in the brush, but he's happy to capitalize, and Lava finishes off the kill. It's a dragon for 2 in the end.
Well, Trajan, we criticize Furia for being lackluster, for being lazy and not doing anything in the early game. We can't criticize them for that. But what we can criticize them for is the setup on that play. We were just talking about how risky it is. And it felt like, okay, we're going to try and hands check them. You're hands checking Los Grandes. Of all teams, this is the team who has shown the best mechanics in the league across every role right now. Yeah, it did not pan out. Congratulations, you got Dragon. But that's 2 kills over the way of Los Grandes. And it's a lot about the setup here. You can see that Furia don't actually have full vision. You're already taking the dragon damage here low, and even worse, you're corralled into the pit. Even if they get Ranger, and it's close, it's still a 1 for 2. It's not ideal there, and the fact that they didn't really came back to bite them.
Yeah, for sure. We could see Trigo there getting caught up by Lava with the seismic shove into the stun, followed up by Natuno. Took a lot of damage of Lava, having just gone back with the tier and the lost chapter. You know, just the minimum amount of damage we'd expect him to have there. But it is enough to completely push Trigo out of the fight, who did not have ult, did not have the Featherstorm to get out of that sticky situation. Doesn't really get any value in that fight at all. So, Los Grandes punishing, isolating the carries, executing fairly well. Up 1,000 gold versus the Ocean Dragon at this point. And let's see if Furia can use this Ocean Dragon to maybe, you know, you maybe want to see them trade a little bit heavier, take a bit more damage, spend a little bit more HP to get an advantage, because you know you can maybe heal back a bit more than your opponent.
Yeah, and for Furia here, I really hope that this doesn't discourage them from making proactive moves. The issue wasn't making the proactive move, the issue was the setup and the risk that they were taking here. So I think if they replicate this play on the top side, it actually goes a lot better for them. FNB is winning out his lane right now with that consistent shove in that top side there. So maybe Furia look to that top side, rotate IU a little bit faster than Zay can match. After all, Rakan, a better roamer than this Lulu here. And if Envy can keep landing those shock blasts, you know, that's one way to set up. That's something that we've seen a couple of times in the mid lane. Every time we glance mid, there's low poke. They didn't do that before they took the dragon.
Yeah, Envy can do a lot of damage. We saw Ranger waiting just in case for the counter gang if needed. You can see the gold totals on your screens right there. Natuno and Lava, these scaling carries topping the charts already, exactly where they want to be for Los Grandes, as it's going pretty swimmingly for our #1 team right now. In terms of the featured jungle matchup of Goot versus Ranger, it is currently 1-0 in objectives. Goot took the dragon and is looking to secure himself a Herald as well. So jungle-wise, he's doing okay. But is there anything else that you'd like to see for Goot to be doing? Now he's got the ultimate as well, and you said you didn't want to see them get scared from proactivity.
Yep, so I'd love to see more ganks come through from Goot. Funnily enough, if this was last year, Trajan, if this was last split, I'd expecting Goot to be the one ganking every which lane and Ranger to be the one just kind of farming up objectives. That hasn't been the case. Look down bot, Ranger looking for kills once again.
Ooh, threatening the dive into the Zyra Khan could have been a bold move for sure, and we'll just threaten them and walk away. As we've got Lava moving down from mid as well with the Weaver's Wall. He is going to be on Vision, I believe, but if he wants to commit to this one, even Zyra Khan might have a hard time getting out the 2v4.
Featherstorm is available here as well as the Rakan ultimate, so it is risky. Good coming in.
Oh, they crash it onto Rakan. Oh, he popped it before he gets a chance to use the quickness. The TP burned as well. Clean as you like, in and out. Los Grandes pick up one.
And to be fair, I'm with Furia on this. Furia thought they could answer it, right? They channeled the TP from FNB. They had Good coming into lane, and don't forget with that swirling seed, you can help from really far away. Trigo has to burn ultimate there, paying the price for playing with fire. And yeah, Furia, I think, thought they could answer that. And even, yeah, sure, we lose one. We answer back with one. But no, Los Grandes, we said it, that they're a hands team. We said their mechanics are clean. And we got to see it with that dive.
That is exactly right. Lava still getting aggressed on by Envy right here. Has the health to spend on it unless Ranger is there. Comes in with the smite. Oh, he flashes in but doesn't connect with the mace. And Envy will survive that one. I was waiting just in case. But Lava pops the ghost. Is going to survive. But man, this Talia damage, we saw it bot lane as well, following up on the Ranger Glacial Prison. It's so high. He's even already been going into the Kindle Gem. He's not even buying damage items anymore still until he gets that crown, which is just locked in. But he is still, they are one-tapping people with this like really strong target focus. When they catch one person out, everything goes up on top of them and 100 to nothing.
Yeah, like you said, that target recognition here from Los Grandes, all of them switching, it's incredibly clean here. Now, Trajan, I want to talk about this crown pickup, because I'm not normally a fan of that crown here, but that particular trade showed us how the mid lane's going. Envy is getting really good poke with those shock blasts, but when he tries to actually commit for longer trades, despite being a burst mage, Talia is actually winning out those longer trades. So Lava just needs to block those shock blasts, which is why we're seeing the crown pickup rather than something like that Ludens for extra burst damage or wave clear.
So the Herald is dropped into mid lane. We'll get a plate in a bit. Remember, it is a little weaker than it used to be, so not too much gold picked up, but it's better than nothing. As Goot took a fair amount of damage from Lava as well, getting that one pushed in. Now the Dragon is live. Los Grandes, they've been taking it down already, and they're going to even up that stack in 1-to-1.
Yeah, and that being an Inferno Drake as well, that additional bit of damage for this Los Grandes team, they're going to like it. They are a little bit light on damage in comparison to Furia. Obviously, Furia, 5 damage, whereas Los Grandes, it's coming from just Lava and Natuno. And granted, Natuno scales up real nice here, but nobody's going to say no to extra damage. What's even more interesting to me was the fact that Furia didn't even look to contest that whatsoever.
Yeah, now committing on to hear it. FMB with the snips, with the needlework as well, trying to burn him down. Lilia with a lot of HP damage, a lot of passive. They're going to find this sleep. Surely they can burn through that HP bar, and it will be the 2v1 kill for Here It. Finally punished up there. That's just going to be a wave crashed, and FNB, he's got some gold. See how he uses it.
And of course, for every action, Trajan, there's an equal and opposite reaction here. Surprise, surprise, Ranger once again down into this bot lane, hovering there. And Furia, they recognize that, hey, yeah, we've got lots of tools to dissuade a dive, but we know what happened last time. We ain't risking it. Even calling Envy down to the bot lane, I don't know about that call there, because Envy didn't manage to accomplish much.
And Los Grandes really go, we're going to beat you with your ex-players specifically. Ranger and Natuno are how we are going to win this game for maximum BM impact, and it is currently working out pretty darn well, as we did see a lot of plates picked up for FMB in top lane as well. It's down to the last plate on that top tower before they fell off. Here it. He's going to get the demolished stack. He isn't quite going to get it for the 14-minute mark. But FMB, he is going to be strong on this Gwen. That cannot be denied. We'll see how he navigates the fights to disrupt Los Grandes later on. There's the plates overall, 7-8, which honestly, I'm surprised Los Grandes got as many. I guess I didn't notice they were picking so much up in the bot lane as well off all these dives.
Yeah, so every time we saw FNB kind of getting that push onto that top side, Natuno and Zai were able to answer. So the side turrets were pretty much perfectly even, and the difference being Here It getting a couple more plates on that top side as compared to Trigo and Ayu, who've been just shoved under turret the entire game. They've never actually gotten to push out past the river here, which is doubly surprising when you think about the ganks from Los Grandes succeeding on that bot side. Those are turret dives. Those aren't necessarily lane ganks to come through here. And now that, you know, plates have dropped here, look at this rotation. Natuno coming up here. Goot has to be careful about this one. Rangers in the area as well.
Yeah, Goot has been ready and waiting to try and deal with these Ranger dives more than once this game. Hasn't really been able to have too much impact in reality thus far, as Here It strolls into bot lane and kicks over that tower without any real problem. And it just seems like Los Grandes, they're moving first around the map. They know what to do. And Furia kind of, they show up and go, dang it. Oh, they got it. Shoot. Well, we'll see at the next one.
Okay, so they just flash a stat that when Natuno is ahead in farm at 15 minutes, he wins 83% of his games. Can I just say that is a huge misnomer stat? Because that would argue that he's actually the only loss he's had came when he had a CS lead.
Yeah.
15 minutes there. So it doesn't mean much when the loss has only ever lost one game. And they're looking set to win this one right now as well here. Furia, we said they needed a lead with this composition. It hasn't materialized. They don't have a lane that is significantly winning out. FNB is winning, yes, but that's by virtue of the matchup of a Gwen into a tank. Other than that, I don't necessarily know if FNB has a favorable matchup into any other lane. He can't effectively split push on his own.
Okay, counterpoint. The only time Furia wins games this split is when I'm convinced they're going to lose. So that's this is looking perfect for Furia. They're looking primed for success in this game, because coming into this one, I felt they're guaranteed to take the L, as we do have a potential Herald fight. 5v5, I should say, Herald fight on the cards right here. Los Grandes maybe looking to catch someone out. Lava does have the Weaver's Wall to position. He's dropping it now, trying to split them out. He's just going to cut those three members off as they turn and burn onto the Herald. They'll find the R, they'll get the objective, but now Furia, can you fight your way out? Can you find a punish right here? Can you break through the Scion and the Sejuani? They'll simply group up and walk away, and that is it.
Trajan, it looks like a face-off. It looks like, you know, the teams actually want to fight, but in my head, all I'm seeing is like a big mastiff and like a tiny little like chihuahua kind of just barking at it and nibbling and whirring at their feet.
Yeah.
Like, Furia are posturing for this. They don't actually want to do it. The moment Trigo went into the mid lane, Furia had no shot at taking that Herald.
Yeah.
In fact, I was worried Lava was actually going to cut them off. You saw everybody had to like disengage immediately with that Weaver's Wall. And even after it dropped, Furia comes back in nibbling. I was worried for Furia. If Hirit turns around and decides, hey, you know what, I've had enough of this, unstoppable onslaughts right into them, fight kicks off, I think Lost take that easy.
Yeah, it's just a sweep right there for Los Grandes, but they will take the reserved option. They'll grab the Herald, and they'll lose this top lane tower from a nice timely push by Envy as well. With Natuno and Zai, both the bot lane combos, in fact, rotated into this mid lane. A lot of Furia members actually waiting there. Natuno does have to be a little careful, but maybe he doesn't. He's got the support he needs. There's another Dragon on the Rift as well. We'll see if Lost just wants to do the Herald into Dragon play, as would kind of the flowchart would demand. Is kind of the most reasonable just kind of macro play to make here, but maybe they don't even need it. Who knows?
Yeah, I think part of the problem is that it's Cloud Drake, and Lost Grandes don't really care about it. Speed buff is always kind of nice, but you don't need it when you've got that Scion's unstoppable onslaught here. It feels like they're just trying to take that mid turret to protect their own here. And to a certain extent, they're still trying to bait Furia into fighting them. Herald goes down, secures that. They aren't going to escort it any further here. And Furia have 5 men stacked into the mid. Not timely, not very efficient with their time. So they have to make something happen with this 5 stack.
Yeah, and I'm really watching IU right now. When I look at the Rakans, you can see we know how much Rakan can do, how much distance this champion can cover to find the engages. So they may be forcing for Los Grandes here. TP in from here. It still has the ultimate to call that engage. Ranger finds his way onto IU, who'll simply slide back to Goot with the E, and it's another disengaged play. But towers across the map for Los Grandes, they've got first track onto the Dragon as well.
Yeah, top turret going down in favor of Los Grandes as well. And like you said, the Herald into Dragon play as well. Mid going down secures them that mid lane. Los Grandes are starting to turn up the heat, and Furia, they just don't seem to have answers. Yes, you've got a lot of mobility. Trigo survives the engage. Great for you. IU dashes away. Great for you. But that's not winning the game. You're surviving. You're not living.
Yeah, exactly, right? It comes back to the point that I was starting to make before about where is IU right now in these fights? When you're looking for, okay, Fury, you want to fight, you have to do something here. I'm looking at their 5 champions. I'm looking at IU. He's Rakan, you know, maybe Goot a little bit if he can get a flank as well, but he needs to get into a position where he can make something happen, because hanging out next to Trigo, he's not going to find a way in past the Scion, surely.
Yeah, and Trigo's not asking for IU's help to stay alive either. Trigo's got Flash and Heal both still up, just had to use the ultimate there, the Featherstorm, just to survive, but that will be off cooldown not too long from now here. And Trajan, I feel like we're putting a lot of pressure on our rookie. Let's not forget, this is IU's first CBLOL game.
Yeah.
He's just started playing in Academy. This split here, really new. It's a huge promotion. And so, yes, you pick the Rakan, you should be looking for it. But failing that, I'm looking at Goot now. Because Lilia has non-committal engage as well. So if IU's scared to go in when you're behind, understandable. Goot doesn't have to go in. Goot can just go bowling here. You land a strike, that's when the team kind of goes. Until then, you just kind of fish. But so far, we've not seen the Swirl Seeds find targets for the most part. If anything, I've only seen it hit Herrit. And with that shield, Herrit doesn't even notice that he's been tagged by the Swirl Seed.
Exactly. He is probably going to notice Envy on top of him right now, trying to chunk through that HP bar. Jace with the Eclipse does have decent tank. Well, it looked okay for a little bit, but then Herrit started fighting back, and now it doesn't look as good. As they'll simply return to the mid lane. Los Grandes stepping through the jungle. You can see a lot of red vision around this area. They're fully in the know as to what is going on in the area of play. And now Lava looking to punish, to slap back onto Envy for daring to step up to his Scion. Easily shoved back, and the 2v1 concludes. Lava picks up a freebie.
Looks like the Master finally got annoyed enough to bite back.
Yeah, he pulled his other Master friend over to just beat him up a little bit while he watches.
Yeah, it's animal abuse for the poor little Chihuahua. Furia, this is not going well for them, Trajan. And unfortunately, this has just been typical of their performance this split thus far, right? Like, there's signs of life, and then they just kind of trail off. And my bigger worry for them is that we said they needed to be proactive early on. Their composition demands it here. And because they weren't, because they didn't find leads, didn't find a way to play through, we're starting to hit the point where even if they look for something here, Trajan, I'm not sure where they look at. We said FNB is not winning split push. You know, we're talking about non-committal engage. We're talking about poke coming through from Envy here. Well, if Herrit can ignore the poke, if Ranger can ignore the poke, if you can't engage on them because they team fight better and you can't split push, what the hell do you expect Furia to do? Like, disconnect the PCs of Los Grandes?
Yeah, it's we're running out of options here quite quickly for Furia on the stage, as Los Grandes have just started up the Baron, because why not? They see that Gwen is on the bot side. They're going to have to force him to TP in or lose this all-important objective. Now, IU, you've got them all in a space. Goot, you've got them all clumped up here. Let's look for the big ultimates. Down below 3k HP. You've got to find a way in. Ranger nails the ult onto Goot, and down goes the Baron, but the fight is not done. That's good damage onto the backline. IU finds his way in, finally in this game, and 3-4 quick as you like for Furia. They will take those 3 kills. They have lost the Baron, but something has now been done.
Hold up, Trader. I need a replay. I don't know what happened in that fight. Los Grandes was winning until they weren't. Like, that was literally what that fight looked like to me. Like, FNB.
Oh my god,
holy.
FNB. The lineup right there, surely.
Okay. We've been ragging on a lot of the top laners who are really performing well last split, but FNB with a massive performance here, and we saw the teleport, and you can tell that Los Grandes was waiting for it. They actually don't care about the Baron as much as they did this fight. They wanted to win it. But track where FNB is in on this. He's cutting right through the tanks, and everybody kind of ignored the Gwen after the engage. That hallowed miss made it so hard to tag them. And then FNB just gets the free hit through everybody, and more importantly, gets the shred through Ranger and Herrit there. And you can see the moment the tanks went down, Los Grandes and they realized that, wait, hold up a second. Yeah, we do a lot of damage, but we have no way to stop Envy and Goot just running amok in our backline.
Exactly, and now the Baron buffs cut off 3 members. They still do have a couple of buffs, and they do still have a slight gold advantage, but they need to have a better fight than that, with IU and Envy able to reach the backline. As you say, FNB just slicing through the front line, doing so much work with the needlework there. And Los Grandes, they are straight back to the push. They know they still have the advantage here. And there is a dragon coming up in 10 seconds as well. We'll see if they want to scale back for that or just go for the turret gold. Let's see what their choice is. Currently, it's all in on the bot lane.
Yeah, as they push in here with that Baron buff, making good use of it here. I always feel that when you've got Baron, you want to be taking turrets more than anything else. And we already touched on the fact that Cloud Drakes really aren't that impactful for this Los Grandes team. IU getting caught out a little bit here. Oh, Weaver's Wall doesn't quite lock them out.
Oh, but they've still got follow-up on here on the other side. Trigo is left on the wrong side of town. Is going to fall down to the Scion, and that's got to be the dragon for free, you'd like to imagine. 4 versus 5, or if they even want to bother it. Straight back to the push.
Yeah, push. You've got Baron right now. I like this from Los Grandes. And we kind of said it with the Baron. I think the Dragon's kind of the same situation. Okay, Natuno, got to watch out a little bit there. Goot on the flank as well, landing the Swirl Seed. Oh,
A little tricky. If they let him life steal on the wave, he'll be fine, but you can't really step up and do that because you'll eat another shot blast for sure. They're gonna have to back off.
yeah, now they go for Dragon. Not to take the Dragon, but to lifesteal Natuno back up to health. For Furia, that was such a good series of events. Unfortunately, Trigo was dead. If Trigo was there, I think Furia pulled the trigger.
Yes, I think they can go for the stun, go for the sleep onto Natuno. Oh, they're gonna get the bowling ball into lava. They commit to it now. There's the Dragon down, but that's a mid laner snoozing away. No one's committed in though. You could see Envy in melee form. He didn't want to pull the trigger there. And they're still stepping away. A knockback onto FMB. Down goes the Hallowed Mist. Gwen is immune and will step away with the needlework. Los Grandes, they'll take the objective and slide away, but it's getting scarier for now for them. They can't just walk in and expect not to be challenged.
Yeah. Hirit kind of getting caught out of here a little bit. Has flash, doesn't want to use it, but he's getting collapsed on.
He's gonna have to use it. He's gonna have to drop it if he even wants to drop it, as they are.
No way!
And they've just, why have they left? They've just given up, I suppose. Okay then. Sorry, understandable. Have a nice day, Hirit. Let this be a lesson to you, all right?
Dude, WoW wasn't massive, man. That's all I gotta say. This entire game is like over and over and over again. That's it. Okay, here's the problem with Furia. Furia makes a good series of plays, but they're always down numbers. So first of all, I actually thought they were going for Ayu. Really good from Los Grandes. Turns out it was a trap. It was Trigo all along. Trigo kind of gets screwed a little bit. Had flash, by the way. Just did not expect to get caught. Ranger. Oh, that's harsh.
Yeah, let him know.
Yeah, I mean, hey, that's the team that kicked him off, right?
Yeah,
able to find it.
Exactly.
But the thing was, when Trigo got caught there, Furia then makes a series of great plays without Trigo. And so you get great engages, you get great poke. You can't actually follow up on that. And Furia, you need to be playing with the team. You need to recognize when you should be fighting things, when you should be looking for things, and when you let things go and not burn those big ultimates.
Okay.
Yeah, we're not going to comment on that. Ranger's had a great game. He's great. I don't know what you're talking about. Ranger Nation, right?
Yeah, I don't know if he's trying to type something and slams are there, but who knows? He starts yeets the ult backwards just to make a point, and there's nothing really to fight over right now. There's over a minute left on Dragon. Doesn't really matter too much. They'll just go back to the push. Los Grandes have demonstrated that they're not interested in frivolous fighting. You know, unless there is a point to it, they're not going to ask for it because they've got the lead. They've got the Dragon stacking. They've got the gold lead, turret lead. They've had the last Baron as well. Everything's been going their way, just playing their game.
Yeah, which is kind of odd in CBLOL. Usually CBLOL, it's all about blood, right? Like a lot of fights and you know, team fights into objectives here. But Los Grandes are saying, no, we don't even need the team fights. They're playing very disciplined with how they're playing, which is why we've got such a low kill count for the most part here. Now, Ranger, don't be fooled by Ranger looking for that flank there. His ult's not back up yet. And until that ult comes up, Los Grandes isn't picking fights. That's part of their disciplined playstyle here. I just don't know if Furia is tracking that cooldown.
Yeah, it's just about to come up right now in 1 second. There it is now, Ranger. Let's see if he pulls the trigger. FMB's on the front line. Lava, you can see them trying to focus him out. They're starting to split apart. Goot still in a flank position. And Furia are just going to step back. They're going to melt back into the jungle as Los Grandes move back to play for the Vision. The Baron now up in 8 seconds, and Los Grandes have full river control. They might just rip it on spawn. And FMB is down in bot lane.
Yep, they've got all the vision they need to see a Furia coming in. That TP is being channeled is from Envy. FNB still pushing out for now, and Furia, they don't know how quickly this Baron is going down.
Yeah, a little slow to the move right there. They had no vision, completely blackened out by Los Grandes. And here it looking for the engage there. Ranger following up FMB in the mist right now. The front line have to step back. FMB dies forward again, but he's been stunned up. They're going to focus him. Oh, look at the damage of the shock blast. Envy and FMB chunking out Los Grandes, and they couldn't find the Gwen. Los Grandes, this fight is turning a little hairy for them as they'll try to step away. Remember, they already got the Baron. If they can get away with the buffs, it's not too bad. As Envy picks up 1 kill, but maybe 1 for Baron. I'd not call that worth.
Nope, and you can tell the difference between Barons this time, Trajan. The first time Los Grandes was using Baron as a bait for team fight. This time Los Grandes recognizes that, hey, the Baron shred is a bit too much for us here. We don't actually want to fight this here. We want Baron, and we want out. They lose Hirit on the back end, but Hirit, this tanky beast right now, is buying them enough time to disengage. And now with the Baron buff, they have to make good on Hirit's death here on that mid lane inner turret going down. Loss on the push.
Exactly. Dragon up in 35 seconds now. Loss always very early to those objective plays, dumping down waves of vision to play around, and they've got the Baron to get the waves pushing hard for them. as well. 5 members of FNB running down this mid lane, single-minded. As you can see again, this damage from FNB in the team fights is astronomical.
And this time, FNB actually was focused in that fight. Like the first time, they ignored FNB. Like FNB was just pulling a Johnson and you can't see me. But this time, they threw all the CC down. FNB survived and still did damage. Riftmaker, Deathcap, and Void Staff right now doing work. TP onto Lava here. It's not a runaway. They're looking to actually make a play here.
That is interesting. He commits away from that tower quite early, I feel. Maybe they're expecting a quicker rotation and could have used the Weaver's Wall to get away, but obviously maybe you want that for the team fight impact as we go straight into a pause. And there's a lot of Pain fans here, which I'm surprised there's still so many of them that can bear to come to these shows because it's been rough for Pain. It has been, mate, you even stopped predicting them, right? Even you've given up on them at this point.
Whoa. Okay. Okay, that's true. You can support Pain, even if they're losing. I still support them. I'm just not predicting them because they've tanked my predictions hard enough so far, Trajan.
Yeah.
But what an odd pause here, and I'm curious to wonder if it has something to do with that Lava TP. Like you said, it was a bit of an odd timing for it. Weaver's Wall was available, and it doesn't matter which end of the Weaver's Wall you kind of come from. You can always hop off early if your station comes your stop comes a bit earlier there. So yeah, I wonder if that's a mistake. It won't hurt Los Grandes too much in the grand scheme of things.
No.
What is very interesting is the 5-5 scoreline right now, Trajan. Los Grandes, they are winning the game, and we're talking as if they're winning the game. But if you look at the golden scoreline, it looks like the game is even right now. And if you look at the team fights, Furia won the last 2 at the last 2 Barons, but it's Los Grandes picking up those Barons so far. So we're seeing sort of traditional CBLOL style from Furia, which is fight, let's get kills. Pause is over, we're into the game. Whereas Los Grandes have been playing for objectives, have been playing clean. Now at this Dragon, can CBLOL find their engage again? Are you caught on the wrong side?
Yeah, I was about to say, let's look at this. This is a good development. IU's now in a fight position, but they found him out. FNB's into the pit, though. Remember, he still has that miss to buy some time. Look at Zai's HP bar. He's a shock busted force down. Oh my goodness, Neptuno takes out Goot, and the Dragon falls quickly as well for the soul for Los Grandes. Goot stepping on a landmine and explodes on the front line. Cannot find the steal on the objective. Los Grandes, they are hightailing it down to this mid lane to make the rest of the use of this Baron buff.
Trajan, did you watch Kingsman: The Golden Circle?
I did, yeah.
Yeah, that moment right there from Groot reminds me of when Merlin was stepping on the landmine. You stepped on it, you had to just commit to it, and you were just like, team, I'm doing my job, I'm going for the smite. That's it, boys.
Yeah, I'm anti-heroing right now. Goes in, does get knocked down. It's actually his first death of the game, but it is sadly a death nonetheless, and that's the soul for Los Grandes. So the Elder coming up in 5 minutes if we go that far. No inhibitors taken for Los Grandes. They have just taken the inhibitor tower, as the Baron buff will be ticking away and has run out now, I believe. So they're going to have to go back to the drawing board, and let's see how they play this one out. Because in terms of the moving around the map, the rotations, the split pushing, the picks, Los Grandes have been all over that. But as you mentioned, the team fights are where they have started to struggle just a little bit. So I'm imagining that Furia, you're going to have to try and contest Los Grandes at these map movements here, at these picks. Otherwise, they're just going to run you around the map and pick your base off one by one.
Yeah, and we said before that, hey, Los Grandes was winning in every metric. They were moving better. They were team fighting better. They were split pushing better. Now, they've lost a team fight, so we can't say that. And the other one I'm not sure about now is the split push. FNB's a monster in team fights, but he has not built Nashor's Tooth, which is usually the split push Gwen item here. Can FNB handle Hear It? And apparently, can FNB handle the entirety of Los Grandes breathing down his neck in his lane?
Yeah, they're a 5-man rush in this one, and Envy does have the single push on the bot side, but we'll see if he wants to hang out there, if he wants to go for a TP perhaps. Here he comes back in now. IU on the Rakan could look for an engage. He's flashless, but he still has the quickness. And Los Grandes, they are respecting that one. They're stepping nice and far back.
Yeah, huge double stack wave in the bot side from Envy there. I actually didn't think Envy needed to TP at that moment. I think you could just based back at that point. You saw how fast the wave clear was from Goot and Trigo here. Los Grandes pushing in again, but notice that they're not actually hitting the turret. Neptuno's actually not in range for that here. Lost, I think they're just waiting for the Baron here, and them burning the TP from Envy was massive because it's going to give them that minute and a half for Baron to respawn.
Yeah, not a hugely long-range team as Ranger has been caught out, taking a greedy path through the jungle. He's burning away, throws the ult in spite, but IU will pick up that kill, and Ranger with a misstep is going to delay this one even further. Now, as we've said, there's nothing really to take here, but it's worth noting, Ranger, you can't be that comfortable, you know? It's still the enemy's jungle.
Yeah, I just realized he built a locket of the Iron Slurry.
Oh.
And didn't proc it for the shield
No.
with the Ignite ticking down.
That's
Is
unfortunate.
unfortunate one way to put it. Sus, another
If
maybe.
you press locket instead of ult, maybe, if you want to trade that click for another one, perhaps we have a way to walk out there. But he is going to go down, and we can still see the damage that really does burn them through, right? That Rabadon's for FNB, and Envy as well. I imagine if we could see the damage shots after as well, he has been putting in a hard, long shift with the poke and with the damage onto these priority targets around the fights to pick them off.
Yeah, and it's itemization as well, right? We see Hirit already building the Force of Nature. He's recognizing that, hey, what's killing us isn't Envy and Trigo. It's FNB and percent health damage burn from Goot, which is magic damage from both the Liandry's, or from Liandry's demonic and Lilia passive as well, FNB.
Oh, he does use the Hallowed Mist to get away, and Ranger's the only one who follows him over. Lava, in fact, ups the Weaver's Wall, but doesn't really find it. They almost... Let Ranger! What is going on with these ults, my man? You need to get your mouse checked. He throws it backwards again. As now IU looking for a fight, but he's going to run straight to the Sejuani. Needs to get out of there. Has to use the W defensively. And the Baron is now alive, but... What is happening with Ranger's R button, dude?
I don't know, and it was hilarious watching the speed up come through from Zai, and then everybody like runs at the wall and realizes that half bus can't get over. Lost have had enough though. They are pushing in, they are kind of landing that damage right now. Problem is Furia have the inside track on the mid lane, and Lost need to start moving as a team. If they get split off, if they get caught, they're gonna lose both mid and Baron here. They do decide to go for the mid side, but they're losing control over vision around Baron.
They're taking the flash from Goot, they're taking the ghost from FNB. These mobility tools of that very dangerous top side a little bit lessened, as they are just going to take control of the wave right now, and it looks like they're going to pull the recall. It's going to go back to the drawing board here, as the Baron still a little bit mixed right now. As you can see, blue vision in there with some red behind. Furia do know what's going on roughly, and they are feeling more confident by the minute, clearly. They are really threatening as these fights move on. And they're still not able to find these picks and these punishes for Los Grandes that they were of earlier in the game.
Yeah, and as the game goes longer, Trajan, for Furia here, if they win that one big team fight, it's better and better for them. The chances are good. But you can still see the gold deficit a little bit just from the fact that objective bounties are up for Furia here. So if they get Baron, if they get turrets, that gold swing is going to be absolutely huge.
Los Grandes trying again to just turn and burn it down. They've got the TP and they'll find it once again. Third time this game, Los Grandes just rock up to the Baron pit and take it. But look at the burn through here. We've seen this story so many times today. As here it, Ranger is shredded down. Envy's on the flank. Los Grandes don't look like they're in the best position here. Ranger yeets it over his shoulder. But again, Los Grandes, they get the Baron. They lose a member, but the rest of them skulk away.
I feel like we're watching replays, Trajan, on this Baron. Like, this feels exactly like the second Baron, where they burn it, they lose a member, and Ranger kind of whiffs. Like, hello?
Yes.
Well,
but Elder is now up now. It's 5 seconds with Ranger dead. There's an angle for Furia to win this one, and everyone is converging very quickly.
Yeah, no smite available too, because Ranger is the jungler here. Ults are down for both of these teams, which could be massive. Needlework for FNB has been that big shredder that's getting him these 5-6k damage numbers here. And IU zoned out on the other side. Furia, very split here for one.
They do have the ult for Lilia at least, if they can get those bowling balls through. Only lands onto here for now. They're burning through this Elder Dragon very quickly. FNB currently on the flank. IU comes around the corner, walks straight into Natuno, eats some burst fire, and now they're committing. They're going for the smite take. Furia, they've got the tools they need, and Los Grandes are kind of stepping away. They know it's not workable, and that's the objective bounty. That's the Elder Dragon buff for Furia this game. Very, very winnable.
I think that's a bit of an understatement right now. It is in Furia's favor as long as that Elder Dragon is ticking, Trajan. And
yes.
Baron for Elder, at this stage in the game, with how this game has been going, Elder is infinitely more valuable. Elder lost 30 seconds shorter than Baron. It doesn't matter because Baron was taken earlier, and Los Grandes now, they can't fight. Their Baron buff has gone completely to waste. It is a negative Baron power play that we're seeing in the top right corner.
Look at this damage chart. What is that? That's no one from Los Grandes is within 6,000 damage of Envy and FNB. That is insane. FNB has 10k more damage than anyone on Los Grandes. That is wild as they step forward. And with the Elder Dragon buffs, it might be about to just get even higher as they are hard shoving forward. Los Grandes, you know how to play safe. You know how to play responsibly by the book. Let's not throw it away versus Elder Dragon buff. Yeah, oh my god, Envy takes a bit of poke himself.
Can I just say, fair and balanced champion when a Zeri is hitting poke harder than a Jace.
Yeah.
They're both at 5.5 items.
I thought they fixed that. I thought we'd addressed this one, right? I thought we'd said maybe that wasn't the healthy play style for Zeri, but here we are, as MB has to go back to base.
I mean, six items Zeri just hits different, I guess.
Certainly does.
Almost 40 minutes. What is the longest game time, Trajan? I feel like we're starting to approach it with this game. 46 minutes and 8 seconds is INTZ versus Kaboom here. At the rate we're going, we might see that broken this game here. Furia, they're struggling to push. Even with Elder, they can't find it. And Elder is going to be wearing off soon. Los Grandes is tracking that timer.
Yeah, they're kind of prodding and dragging them around, right? They're not just sitting in the base waiting for them to push. You can see Lava pressuring on the side lanes and hear it kind of looking in from the side going, oh, am I going to flank you? Am I going to do something? You want to try and take me out, guys? I'm offering myself up. And they do slow down that push, but now they finally made it to the tower. Ranger stepping up quite boldly, if I do say so myself, as the tower does fall down. Lava drops the Weaver's wall. Goot's a little separated, but there's still the Elder Dragon buff ticking away. It's almost run out, though. Only a few seconds left.
And I feel like this is the first major macro misstep we're seeing from Los Grandes here. Sending Lava to a split push. I know you did it because of the Weaver's wall, but you didn't have wave clear without Lava there. Netuno was trying, but there's only so much you can do with that zap here. Netuno couldn't actually step up and auto the wave there. You needed Lava to help out, and because Lava wasn't there, they lose the mid inhibitor turret and the bot side inner as well, that we saw Envy just go down and pick up. Nice to see you, please.
Yep, exactly. As we do return to a neutral state here. Gold, dead, even at 40 minutes. 69k apiece. We have the Cloud Soul for Los Grandes, but honestly, it ain't really mattering that much at this point in the game. Furia have had the run of the fights. Los Grandes generally better around the map, but as this game gets later and later, the items start to come online. It's so tough to call. You remember what I said, RMC, about how the best times for Furia to win are when they have no right to win? Well, you know, here we are, 41 minutes in, and they've just taken a gold lead over Los Grandes, who was 7-1.
Very, very fair. I mean, considering how this game went, I did not think they'd ever reclaim that lead.
My systems just are flawless. My analysis of they should probably lose, so actually they'll win now is just unbeaten at this point.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, I actually think you are leading the predictions coming into this week.
Middlecott was doing well, I think, as well. He picked a lot of he did really well in the early weeks. I'm not. I think I'm up there. I'm close, and this might be a bit ruinous. But did anyone predict Furia for this game legitimately?
Yeah, actually, Axe and Fish both predicted Furia today.
Oh my, Axe, man, the other prophet. Oh my god, he's too smart. He just gets it. You know,
Trajan, you did not, which I guess checks out. The fact that,
weirdly, I didn't.
Who wouldn't have picked Furia, right, Trajan? But yes, you are actually leading with Hawk right now in the predictions. So we'll have to see, you know, how that kind of goes.
Bro, what is happening? What are we doing? What? What are these buttons? Is he was he just getting rid of the CP on purpose? Okay, I was like, who is in control of Los Grandes keyboards right now? Because they are just yeeting buttons in any direction. Yeah,
I was thinking that too. It's like Ranger's ours, and now like the TP. And that second, that's Lava's second, like kind of sus TP, right? The one right before the pause happened as well.
Okay, we've got a Baron here, and Furia, for the first time ever, Furia are already in control of the pit, and IU has a flank angle once again. Zai knows where he is. Lava's committing the Weaver's wall. They bumped out Goot. They're looking for the commitment. They've gone to the back to Netuno. He flies away. He's been wild Groton. FMB goes golden. IU's still alive. No one's fallen down just yet. Los Grandes trying to step forward, trying to get that first kill of the fight. It's onto Envy, but Ranger, in fact, goes down. There's Trigo, though. The big laser zaps across that Zaya, neutralized, and Zeri picks up another as well. Finally, Los Grandes have managed to win a team fight as FMB chased into the wrong side of the map. Here it looking for the revenge with Zai in tow. Not the easiest fight to take, everybody. And this might take a little bit of time to come true.
I mean, Netuno's here. Once Netuno actually reaches FMB, this is over.
Yeah, I mean, they're just kind of bullying now. Pressed up against the wall, abusing range. And it is given over to Netuno in the end. And Lava steps forward in the mid lane. Doesn't get the inhibitor, though, as it's 10 seconds to the Elder, and 3 people are dead for Furia. So Los Grandes They should be able to take both, I imagine, if they're quick about it.
Yep, and ideally you do want to take Baron first and then Elder because Baron lasts a little bit longer here. Yeah, I'm going to say it, Trajan, MVP of this game is Baron. Whichever team does Baron loses the following fight. And people forget, Baron has that shred on it. Every time it attacks you, it shreds your armor and your magic resistance. So that's why you've got to burn it quick. If you take too long, when the fight comes, you saw what Natuno did to Furia. It was unsightly. It should be censored. It was beautiful.
Yes, it was absolute devastation across there. 6-0-1 in this game. We hyped up Natuno coming into this match, and he has lived up to that. He has been on point today in these fights and in the rest of the season, as the Baron and Elder will be secured by Los Grandes. Now, you have all the tools, all the buffs, all the momentum in the world, Los Grandes. Let's see if you can keep this 7-game streak alive and move it to 8. Though Furia, they have certainly made it hard every step of the way.
You know what? I believe Los Grandes can do it because Trajan, you had faith in Furia for a second, and that's all Los Grandes need to win this.
The second I believed it was over. Yeah, that's my bad, Furia. Sorry about that. I've thrown you under the bus. As the wave arrives at the tower, finally, these inhibs are going to fall. And we have seen IU start to find those flanks in these recent fights. He's got to find a Mondo flank now to save this one.
Even with that Mondo flank there, he found the flank onto Natuno, couldn't find it, engage onto Envy here, but the Weaver's Wall!
Ooh, there it is. Elder Dragon gets him over the line. They'll take the second inhib. That should be enough. Los Grandes, you've got the pick you need. You've got the waves of the Baron buff, and down go the towers. Absolutely popping. We won't have a new longest game here today, RMC, but it certainly was a slog.
Don't jinx it!
They're still not going. I've lost all faith again. FMB, he's burning away with the
okay, there we go.
That's got to be it. Surely there is no way. And now the dominoes start to topple. Los Grandes resilient in this game. Furia showing they are not completely down for the count. And it's mainly on the back of one FNB. What a Gwen game from him. But it's still Los Grandes walking away with the win.
30 seconds is all Furia needed to set a new record here, but Los Grandes having none of it. The second longest game here, and Trajan.
Ooh. Okay, man.
Okay, what does that say? Can somebody